Hello everyone, welcome to ArgenLeathers, a channel created to share knowledge about rawhide leather crafting. Today, continuing with the guide that we have been learning, we are going to learn how to make the braid of 12. For that we are going to need our 12 cords that can be horse skin, cow, or what we use, it can even be rope. And also in this braid it is convenient to put a sole or center or core to the braid. In another of my previous videos I explain why and how to do it. In this particular braid it is important that it has a very round shape and does not flatten. Okay, let's get started. We have our 12 cords and we are going to divide 6 for each side. From the sole to the right and 6 to the left. Then we are going to separate the last 2 from each end, the last 2 from the right end. We are going to leave them out and the last 2 from the left end, and we are going to work with the 8 in the middle. We are going to work with the 8 cords in pairs. We are going to make the ones on the right go over the 2 on the left. Now we are going to pass the 2 on the left over the 1 on the right. And the last 2 on the right. That we have left of the 8 are going to go under 2, over 2. And we would be left like this. We are always going to accommodate them so that the braid is smooth from its beginning and not have errors later. We are always going to look at the face of the cord that remains. We always have to take into account that the face that we have to stay forward is that of the hair. Well, we accommodate ourselves well, and once we accommodate them we are going to put the sole in the middle. And we are going to start working to include the 2 that we leave on each left and right side. To know which side we are going to start the braid, we are going to look at the pair that was looking up. In this case it is this one, and what we are going to do is then start with the cord on the opposite side to the pair that is up. In this case we have the pair of cords looking up on the right side, so we are going to start working with the one on the left side. What this cord is going to do is go under the entire braid, including the sole, in this way. It will leave 2, the 2 that we previously left out, over 2, under 2. Here if we observe there is a cord that wants to turn and we accommodate it. Now we go to the last cord on the right side, it goes under the entire braid. I am going to tie it well because it is wanting to let go. It goes under the entire braid, in this way. Including the sole, it leaves 2, then over 2. Over 2, always being careful that it does not turn. Under 2. Well, now we go to the cord on the right side, we do under the entire braid, it leaves 2, the last 2. Turns and does over 2. It is difficult to keep them from turning at the beginning, over 2, under 2. Here you see that it has turned, then I am going to go back and I am going to accommodate it. For it to be well accommodated, it is convenient to make the small break that I also showed you in previous videos. If you did not see it, you can go and look for it and observe it to learn that technique that is very useful. Well, now we continue. We are going to work with the left side. It does under the entire braid, below. The entire braid, you always have to include the sole, the center, the core of the braid, below everything, when we pass with the cord. We leave 2 out and we do over 2. Under 2 it may seem a bit complicated at the beginning, but now when we accommodate them to all, they will see that the braid is going to normalize and it will be easy. Well, there is the last cord to include, which is this, then it is done below the whole braid. Over 2, under 2. Okay, now let's take a second to accommodate everything. Since we include all the cords, we are going to accommodate all of them and each one so that the braid looks good from the beginning. Then we are going to pull each one of them so that they go taking their place and go shaping the braid. As you can see, the braid begins to form there. We always have to take the time to do this since it will make our braid then it is very symmetrical and neat. That is, we are going to have a good beginning, because if we start badly there is no way that we finish well. There, as you can see, the braid begins to form that we are trying to do today. It is important to take this time because then it will also facilitate the work since we start well and we continue it simply easy. Well, once this is done we are going to start braiding. It is already accommodated. As you can see there, it begins to form the plot. Before to start, I wanted to tell you thank you for having seen the video up to here. I want to tell you that growing on YouTube creating educational content is difficult. So I ask you to subscribe, like the video, or share with those who believe that these videos can be useful since they help us a lot to continue bringing quality content and more frequently. So thank you very much from now on. Well, now we continue. We are like this, and to know which side we are going to work on, what we are going to do is observe our cords and see which one was left behind. All if we observe in detail, we have the one that was left behind. Everything is the one on the left. Then this is the one with which we are going to start. This cord does below the whole braid. Below all the braid also includes the sole below over 2 under 2. Now if we observe the right is behind the line, then it indicates that the right with which you have to work on the whole braid leaves 2 out and 2 in, and this is how we are going to continue the whole braid. Now we observe the left, we do it under the whole braid. Leaves 2/2. And we continue the whole braid. Leaves 2/2 under 2. And so we are going to continue. As you can see how complicated or a little more complicated is the beginning. Then it is quite simple, but it is very important to have that beginning ordered so that later the braid can continue in order, since if we had a beginning of the braid disorganized mess, our braid will be bad. Well, we always observe the cords, we observe well there it is noticeable that the one on the left side is outside the line, then that is with which we have to work. What it does is go under the whole braid over 2. Under 2 you will have noticed that it is quite simple once we manage to start it, and that it starts form. And it looks very pretty. Now we work with the one on the right side, under the whole braid, over 2, under 2. I use this braid a lot to make ties, necklaces, bracelets, and also keychains. Here in Argentina, a keychain called cuenta ganado is used a lot, which consists of a long braid that has buttons appliques also made with leather. We are going to learn how to make those buttons soon in our buttons section. Well, now we continue. The cord that is behind everyone is the one on the left side, so it goes under the entire braid and makes over 2, under 2. Now we are going to accommodate it, because it is getting loose, see? So what we are going to do is take the cords and pull them down and to the side. This makes each cord take its corresponding place in the braid and mold. We can also use the liquid for braids, which I also showed you in previous videos, so that when we wet each of the cords, when we pull them, they will form and bind. This makes the braid symmetrical and neat. It is also convenient to pull the sole so that the braid is molded. All this will make our braid look very good. Another thing I wanted to tell you is that if you are interested in knowing how to make the liquid for braids, you can leave it to me in the comments, and if we get to 100 likes, we are going to make a video showing how to make that liquid that makes our work so much easier and is very useful and very easy to do. So you stay, I hope you like it, comments, and if we get to 100 likes we will make the video showing it. Well, this is how our braid looks. And we will continue. For that we are going to see what cord was left behind. Here, which is not very clear, what we can do is loosen our braid a little, and there you will notice that the cord that is further back, although it is very little, it is noticeable that it is the one on the right side. So what we are going to do is work with the cord on the right side. Then I go down the whole braid, leaving 2 out, over 2, under 2. Remember that when a braid has a sole or center, which can be leather cords, it can be rope. In this case I am using thread. It makes this braid extremely resistant, that is, all the threads are added to the leather braided cords, the resistance of the rope internally. That makes it very resistant. That is why it is quite useful when making ties. Okay, we continue. When we need to do some work that is a work like a bracelet or a necklace, the sole is not necessary to give it resistance, but to give it shape, since, as you can see, the braid is adopting the shape of the center it has. Well, I'm going to do one more pass to explain to you, but I guess you must have understood. And then, I'm going to stop the video to advance the braid so that the weave can be seen. As I told you once again, to know which cord we are going to work with, we always observe which one is behind the line. Here, if you look, behind the line is the cord on the left side. As you can see, we draw the line like this, an imaginary line, but we always notice that there is a cord behind. So with that one we are going to work. What is done below the whole braid? Leaves 2 out, over 2, under 2. Now, if we observe, the cord that was left behind is the one on the right side. So we are going to do under 2, over 2, under 2. Well, now I'm going to stop the video so that when I come back I have advanced the braid and you can see the plot. Well, friends, there I advanced the braid a little so you can see how it is looking. As you can see, it is a round braid, it is very nice, it has 4 sides. Each side has that plot and it is fast, easy and simple. You just have to be careful at the beginning so that the cords do not turn and then it goes very fast and easy. One last little thing I wanted to tell you, and that you have more than anything in mind, is to always braid with the cord that is behind the entire line. In this case it is the left one. And if we want to pause the braid with the cord that we are going to use, we have to make a knot in this way. Like this. In this way what we will do is that the braid does not come undone and at the same time know with which cord we have to continue braiding, because many times it happens that they mix us and it is a headache to identify which one we will work with, so whenever we leave the braid we are going to do this, it is a simple easy knot that goes under the whole braid like this. And comes back and does like this. With that we solve a lot of problems, a lot of loss of time and headaches. So good friends, we are seeing each other in the next video. We will learn to make the braid of 13. Remember that in this guide we will reach the braid of 15 and then we will learn to make seams. So we are seeing each other soon in a new video. Remember to leave your like, subscribe and share our content, that helps us a lot. Also remember that our commitment with you is pending to provide you with the information on how to make the liquid for braids when we reach 100 subscribers, so we are seeing each other. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.